The Elevator Dancer by N.K. Jemisin. Shift change, change shift, humdrum and ho-hum, and on the little screen a woman dances. She's in the elevator. She's alone in the elevator, and she's dancing because there's no one to see her but the security camera and the security guard who watches its input on the little screen. She's dancing the mashed potatoes. He knows the name of the dance because he remembers his mother doing it in a silly moment of his childhood. It's a silly dance at the best of times, even for a good dancer, which this woman is not. Yet the guard does not press the button beside his workstation. He does not alert the police, who these days concern themselves with other things besides crime. He simply stares as she twists her feet and hips over and over, bopping her head, too, in time to her own internal rhythm. Then the automated elevator voice says, "You have reached your floor," and the woman stops. She's not breathing hard. Not a hair is out of place. No drop of sweat mars her modest gray skirt suit to suggest that here is a woman who cares only for her own pleasure. Here is a woman who has a life alone and, worst of all, enjoys it. The doors open and she walks out. Several people walk in, and the guard sits back in his chair, his every nerve and hair follicle a tingle. He wonders when they will come for him, but they do not. At the end of his shift, he goes home to his modest house and the modest wife that the government assigned to him, and as he eats the dinner she has prepared, he thinks about the woman in the elevator. After dinner, he helps his wife clean up. That much is not prescribed as women's work. His hands are slick with grease and suds, and he thinks about the liquid movement of the elevator woman's hips. Later that evening, he and his wife watch TV together, and during the prayer and commercial break, he wonders what the elevator woman prays for. That night, his wife sighs as usual when she does her wifely duty, and he sighs as usual and climbs on top, and as otherwise lackluster orgasm passes through his flesh, his soul is consumed with the memory of the woman in the elevator. Change shift, shift change, and he watches the screens in the little dark room. His supervisors would think him very diligent, but he's watching just for her. He leans forward, his palms damp, when she gets into the elevator. The doors begin to close. Just before they do, a hand inserts itself, another employee of the corporation, just in time to catch the elevator down to the lobby. The woman politely nods to him. They do not exchange small talk. She does not dance. She never dances when anyone is in the elevator with her. Does she know about the camera in the control panel? She must. Surveillance is everywhere. But every day he sees her, sometimes alone and sometimes amid her fellow office drones. And it's only alone that she suddenly begins pirouetting over and over and over until the elevator stops and she is not dizzy because she used the door seam to spot herself, or swaying in a circle, her hips gyrating in a way that would make the concerned woman for America much more concerned. But as the guard watches her, he thinks maybe this is how Salome made John the Baptist lose his head. This is why dancing is illegal. This will send me to hell, he tells himself. She cannot be married or she wouldn't be employed. No one then has been assigned her as a wife. Does that mean? No, divorce is illegal, and she would be bored with him, he feels, if he were her. She does not do it for him, still he cannot tear his eyes away. Shift change, change shift, day in and day out, and finally he can no longer bear the torment. He looks for her in the lunchroom cafeteria. She's not there. He contrives to take his breaks standing near her favorite elevator, but she does not come. He skims the employee directory, hoping, but he does not see her. He wonders why they have not come for him. But they do not come. Maybe they're busy. And as the shifts change, he begins to believe that God has sent her to teach him. The pastor's words from Wednesday night's Bible study and Sunday afternoon service suddenly make sense. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one around to hear it, it makes a sound if God wills. The elevator woman is that sound. She exalts him and inspires him. She fills him with a fervor he believes is holy. To dance with her is to embody prayer. He weeps as he tries to find her and fails. Finally, he loses control. He's overwhelmed by the fundamental emptiness of his life. He needs. On the little monitor screen she dances, this time something most definitely prescribed. Because it's foreign and heathen, he thinks maybe it is Thai. She weaves her head from side to side like a snake, and maybe she needs to evoke Eve, or even lithe, moist evil. Or maybe it just feels good. Either way, he's bewitched. He leaps up from his chair and tears through the hallways and does not care that he's frightening everyone, that the cameras will catch his strange behavior and some more diligent security guard will report him. He tears through the halls, fluorescent change, corridor shift, and suddenly he's at the elevator. He's beaten the elevator there. He will meet her at last. The door's open. She's not there. He is helped. He has been a good American all his life, obedient and steadfast, and this is a minor setback. In the camp, he learns that it was all a hallucination, caused not by lack of faith, but misplaced faith. The elevator woman may well have been there, but if so, she was sent to tempt him. How foolish was he to fall prey? Now he sits again in the dark little room with the monitors and resolutely tells himself that he does not see the woman dancing. She is not there. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one around to hear it, it makes a sound if God wills. But that is a tree, not a woman, and God does not will a woman to dance. It is shameful and sinful to question the will of God. Still, the guard cannot help wondering. He does not want to think this through, but sly, like temptation, it comes anyway. And well, if a tree falls, and there's no one around to hear it but God, would it really bother with anyone so mundane as making a sound? Or would it dance?